Yo, my name is James Omara. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Long Island, New York, and I've been riding BMX for about 6 or 7 years. The person that actually got me into riding BMX was Jake Layton, Bob Moving. Well, I've known him since I was like very young. I've known him since like kindergarten, basically. We grew up together. But he started riding at a younger age than I did. And when I started riding, I wanted to actually get into it by getting custom parts. And he handed me like a ton of for like maybe $100, and that's when I really started getting into it. First ever trick I landed was probably a 180. Felt satisfied that I landed it, and it just made me get inspired to keep learning and do more and try to learn the sport. Literally every trick I've been doing or ever known how to do was all through myself. I just kept practicing and watching YouTube videos on how to do tricks and just kept practicing outside and just taking it to the streets. The trick that took me the longest to learn was probably a bar spin, only because I didn't have that trick at the best. Like back in the day, I was doing bunny hop before J-hop. Bar spins, like that's actually long for me. And like tuck no handles, I learned quick. There was this grass bank that was by my high school, and I would do it. I actually have a photo on my Instagram. It's like all the way at the bottom. But I started doing tuck no handles, and after that, I just learned suicides and stuff. And then bar spins started coming to me after. The worst fall I've ever taken, I'm actually here right now in the Roslyn pool. I took a 5-foot drop to the back of my head. I was actually over here in the pool, just messing around with whatever. And I went over to the 5-foot drop and just wanted to warm up doing a 180 off of it, the flat, and turned out being my hands were a little slippery at the time and slipped back and took a slam to the back of my head and had a concussion after that. Yeah, I was with a few people. When I ride, how I feel when I ride, I enjoy the feeling. I enjoy landing dope tricks and, you know, watching people that I'm around actually be inspired or like hyped to see the person land the trick. So to really see stuff like that, it's pretty dope. When I ride, I usually ride with people. I tried riding by myself and bringing a tripod around to film, but it's not as fun or it's not as enjoyable as it is with riding with a group of people. You have people to film you, you have people that are actually like motivated to watch you ride and like, as I said in the last part, like, you know, inspired. So usually riding with a group of people, it's pretty dope. What I usually ride, I ride park and street. I usually like riding street out in New York City and Brooklyn and some spots on the island. And then with skate parks, I usually ride skate parks that are on the island, like my local Tanner Park or Huntington or Manor Haven Skate Park or Mastic. Where I mainly want to ride is New York City. You got more spots out there. Definitely a lot easier to find stuff. You just pedal all over the place. It's not as good on the island only because you got to drive to every spot there is, and it takes a lot longer than, you know, how it is in the city. Expectations through BMX. I hope to one day get a sponsorship. Try to make this a career if possible. Because if you put your mind to anything, you could make it happen. But Yeah, that's what I want to get out of this. Hopefully it does happen, but if not, just do it as a hobby and just enjoy it. Currently with sponsorships, it's hard to really say, honestly. Only because I get hooked up with Merit, but they don't like put me on their page and stuff. I'm kind of, I guess, like Flow, they put as like Flow, they'll put up like a picture of you on like their story, but that's really it. So maybe it's like Flow. I do get like hookups from them, like if I need something, they'll like ship it out to me and I'll get it for free with no problem. So I guess I could say Merit, and then Vicious Cycle, which is a bike shop in West Islip, hooked me up too. So I could say that. Places I've traveled with BMX. I actually went on a road trip with the Merit BMX crew out to Richmond, Virginia, maybe about 2 years ago. Probably one of the dopest times and memories I'll ever have. Riding with Brad Sims and hanging out with the whole crew and all that stuff. It was very cool and like chill to do because I'd never done that before. To really get that opportunity, not a lot of people get, so I thought it was an awesome opportunity to get. I've traveled outside, like I've been to Philly, I've been to Boston, I've been to Indiana, Connecticut. Trying to hit a lot more next year when it warms up. Definitely got a lot of trips and ideas for next year, for sure. No, this is the only sport that I'm into. No other extreme sports that I'm into. I've tried snowboarding. It wasn't the best time, wasn't the worst time, but something that I'd probably want to get myself into, only because I'm used to like, you know, grabbing off the handlebars and being able to do more stuff. That's like riding a skateboard that you're locked into and you can't get out of. So until you learn the sport, actually, it's like fun and interesting, but until then, it's kind of rough. What I look up to as an inspiration in BMX, I look up to Stevie Churchill, only because when I'm riding street and I'm hitting up big stair sets and spots where I do suicides, it reminds me of the old Stevie Churchill back in the day. Brock Rayford, definitely another one that I'm inspired by. He's fucking nasty on a bike. Definitely dope to see in person. Current tricks I'm learning right now. I'm trying to learn, at like skate parks, I'm trying to learn manual lines up and down the ramps. Try to make combination lines out of that. If you look on my recent post on Instagram at James Omara, there was actually a clip that I actually landed at Tanner Park at my local that I was trying to do as a manual line. So definitely was trying to get that and learning a little bit more with trying to keep my balance with things. Street spots, trying to get back, whips, and I want to learn how to truck again, and get shit back together with that. Advice I'd give to the younger kids, I would tell them honestly, if they're passionate about the sport and they're willing to take the falls and break bones and stuff, and they like this sport and they're passionate about it, keep it going and don't give up. Or if you're trying to learn tricks, learn from older people that you've seen on YouTube or on Instagram that you look up to, and try to, you know, learn from them how to do bar spins or how to do tail whips and learn from those. Or take your ass over to Woodward and start learning over there. Just say shout out to Merit BMX and Vicious Cycle for their help and everything they could have done for me with BMX, hooking me up with parts and discounting parts for me and just trying to keep me going and motivated to keep riding. And I just appreciate them for what they've done for me so far, and hopefully we get more things going on later on in the future. Hi, my name is James Omara. I'm 23 years old from Long Island, New York. Been riding BMX for about 6 years, and you're watching Life Behind Grips.